staying at the KOA up in North Carolina, outside of Asheville. We decided to ride over to Chimney Rock. Now, from where we were, we took the 2-lane highway over the mountain. Just know it's windy. It is, well, it's windy. Don't have ice cream before you take your kids on the windy road. So, but Chimney Rock was amazing. Yep. It's our 50th state park. I hope you enjoy this video.
The windy road is an understatement. I mean, there was legit like U-turn, windy, yes. U-turn, windy.
Some of the windiest roads that I have ever been on.
We were very thankful we did not have the camper.
Yes. As a matter of fact, the sign as you entered the highway said, no trailers over 30 feet. I don't know that I would have a trailer over 10 feet. But once you get there, Chimney Rock is beautiful. It's right at Lake Lure. As you coming the way we came from the north side, you come in and you go through Bat Cave, and then you are right there.
And this 2-lane tourist, like parking, tourist shop kind of things, mining, all kinds of stuff.
Once you turn in, the windy roads don't stop. You're on a very narrow 2-lane windy road.
Yeah, there's like 3 times he went, are we sure this is 2-way traffic? Are we sure this is 2-way traffic? I'm like, it says it's 2-way traffic.
It says it's 2-way. We came across cars, and yep.
And then there was a couple options, like you could park in this big parking.
Well, and they kind of guided you. So once you get to the gatehouse area where you either pay to get in, or what we did, we paid in advance because they have a family rate online only. So it saved us, I think I figured $13. So we went ahead and did that. You get checked in there. And then they guide you up, and they had plenty of people to help you find parking. If you're handicapped, you go all the way to the top. But as it filled up, it was Memorial Day itself, so it was pretty busy.
As we were leaving, they were letting more cars go all the way to the top. Right. But even if they're allowing that, if you're not handicapped, I would suggest
park in
that lower lot. There's a couple trails that go off of that. But they have a shuttle that takes you up. So you just stay in line on the shuttle. They come. There was 3 running yesterday, and they're big, like old Bluebird buses, kind of looking things.
Yeah, they call that area the Meadows. Park in the Meadows.
And let the bus take you up.
Yeah.
It's not something. I mean, the road between the gate or coming up to the gate and the Meadows parking was twisty enough that.
But then you get in the bus, it takes you more twisty.
It's way twisty. And I know there were a lot of cars come up and down it, but I was glad to be on the bus, let somebody who does it 150 times a day handle that for you. And then you just are right there. They just dump you out. You're right at the visitor center.
You go right up to the little visitor center. There's bathrooms outside. There's a nice little area for us to sit down and have lunch. So we packed
lots of
lunch.
We packed a lunch. There's a little, like, I wouldn't even say like even a restaurant. I think they called it a deli. It was like
at the very top.
At the top, there was some food, but I would say pack a lunch. If you're getting there around lunchtime, I mean, there were gobs of like picnic table areas, down a little bit, up a little bit, lots and lots of options for picnic tables to grab a picnic table and have a lunch. Right, I mean, just off the edge of the cliff, really.
Yeah, very much so.
I mean, when we went down the stairs later, you could look up and like our picnic table was sticking out off the cliff. It was gorgeous. It was beautiful weather.
So then the downstairs, the lower level gift shop is called Cliff Dwellers. Really nice gift shop. Your typical T-shirts, hats.
All the things, keychains, ornaments,
stickers, all the things that we'd normally expect. And then we took the elevator. You can take the stairs, but they put this elevator in 1949. They blasted their way into the rock, and then they had a group that was going down, and they happened to meet. They said they were only about a foot off when they met at the bottom. which is pretty remarkable. It took about 1.5 years for them to do it.
It amazes me that like 75 years ago, people were like blowing on the side of this canyon and with dynamite and drilling with jackhammers like over their head in like a bucket, and that they didn't like just blow the side of the cliff off. Like they were able to figure all that out. So we decided it was a little bit of an engineering feat and not to go up these 600 stairs.
So
and our kids are small still, we're just going to claim that.
Depending on how long the line is, determines how long you have to wait to get the elevator.
I think they said at the entrance it was about an hour.
That's right.
If you're all the way at the beginning of the cave, it's about an hour. About halfway, it's about 30 minutes. You know, and there's signs along the way kind of shaming you into walking. It's like your wait here is about 30 minutes. You could walk it in 20. I don't know that that's a reasonable suggestion.
Not with
I don't
little ones
know
with little legs.
If our 10 and 8-year-old could have walked it in
all those stairs,
600 steps in 20 minutes.
It is 26 stories up. So that's just to give you an idea of how far you're walking to go up the stairs. And then when you come out.
But the elevator ride took like a minute.
Yes.
Maybe. He said they went 500 feet a second or something. I mean, it was ridiculously fast.
And it's the same elevator that they installed in 1949, which is another amazing
thing. The same car.
Yes.
I did read back that like the cables and things are not.
Yes.
It was an economic feat. It was really cool in the cave because I mean it's a blasted cave too, and there's all this signage along the way and lights, and so the kids were interested in the rocks and all kinds of cool stuff.
Then we get to the top. There's a sky lounge. There's another gift store up there. Again, a lot of the same things that they had down at Cliff Dwellers are at the top. There's also, like we mentioned, a little restaurant, ice cream. As we were leaving, the kids wanted ice cream, and the line was really long. Really long.
It had gotten really warm. It had been cold here all weekend, and then it was really warm. So people had been hiking around and then decided they wanted some ice cream.
You come out of the Sky Lounge, and again, more picnic tables. And then there's this walkway across to, I think they said 42 stairs.
Yes.
42 stairs to go up to actual Chimney Rock, which is this rock formation that kind of sticks out on its own.
And there's a guardrail around it. There's this big American flag, which is just kind of iconic. I'm sure you've seen that over different places. It was amazing. And there was a couple other little offshoots. We went up to the Opera Box, which kind of looked down on Chimney Rock, which was beautiful. There's a couple others that were further up. The Devil's Tavern, Devil's Head.
And then you can hike to Exclamation Point.
Which, I mean, you could see them all from there. We did not do that.
Yeah, we well, because we wanted to go hike to see the base of the waterfall.
So we had another hike in mind.
We kind of saved our.
But I will say, this is our 50th state park. We have done stuff at each state park. When we go to a park, we try to do whatever's kind of the thing to do there. This was probably the most touristy thing that we had done. It was packed. Part of it was Memorial Day weekend, so it's one of their busiest days of the year, one. And then it had been rainy and cloudy the couple days earlier in the weekend, so two, that was part of it. But I think probably it's on a pretty Saturday or a week or a holiday like that, it's probably like that.
Yeah.
If you're able to go like a random Tuesday or something because you're camping up here during the week,
will be nearly as packed over.
I think it would be more enjoyable. It was almost a little much
for me, especially on top of Chimney Rock itself.
Because you'll see, there's some of our videos. It's a very low fence.
And there were a lot of kids that were just kind of being rough and
jumping up on
around,
things,
and it just made me a little nervous. I got a little. I don't get claustrophobic, but I did get a little it's just too many people.
Yeah. Well, and you just felt like everywhere you went, you kind of bumped into somebody, and you were just waiting for somebody just to go falling off the rock. I'm assuming that doesn't happen very often, and it's probably not a concern we should have had, but
it was just
it did seem a little. It was a little peoply.
It was a little peoply, and I was surprised at the number of foreign accents that we heard.
And
not accents, but
languages.
Language, yes. There, I would say probably more than 50% of the folks that we encountered were not speaking English.
I would say even more than that. I mean, it was like Clara kept asking people to pet their dog, and they would just look at her like. And I mean, there was very few just native English speakers. So that was pretty cool to see. Like that many people were coming from somewhere
far. there was what sounded like Scandinavian
Yes, it was very
language.
some kind of.
There was a lot of Hispanic, a lot of Asian. It was
Like Indian.
Yeah, there was a lot of different ethnicities there, which I think is really cool that people would want to come from so far away to come
And check
to
out the
a
mountains.
state park.
Yeah,
So it was really neat.
that was a cool part of it.
Now, so we went to the I just dropped
Hickory
my-
Nut, the Hickory Nut Falls hike, which from the main, down from the sky view.
The Hickory Nut Falls Trail, which from where we had lunch, we took a staircase down.
It was a significant staircase.
A pretty good staircase down to the trail.
And it was well built, and it wasn't steep, and it was lots of switchbacks, but it was long. It was probably 6 stories.
I was surprised. So they say that it's 1.4 mile round trip because it's an out and back. You take the trail, it's wide, there's plenty of room.
And there's even like picnic tables kind of scattered. There's a couple places.
Place where you can just sit on a rock for a minute to catch your breath. It goes up, according to the All Trails app, about 300 feet of elevation change.
But you have to remember, you're already kind of high up the mountain.
Yeah, so as you kind of make your way, you eventually kind of make your way to what I thought at first was the landing spot, but it was not. You go up, go up
75 stairs.
Go up another staircase, a stone staircase on this one, and there's actually a wooden platform right at the very base of the falls, and a lot of people were getting down and playing in the water. I didn't want to be wet, so
We didn't have the shoes for that, so we were
I-
keeping our kids out of the water.
Yeah, we stayed
But I will
up.
say that platform, was it wooden or was it rock?
No, that was wooden. That one was wooden.
Well, it did not have, I would not say, especially if you have smaller children, it had just like a wire railing that there was a good foot between each one, because there was a little guy that was just kind of like, I mean, he could have just,
Yeah.
he definitely could have fit.
Again, once you get there, a lot of people. So
people.
it was a little busy. The trail wasn't too bad, but the waterfall was amazing. It's a 400-foot waterfall, 402-foot waterfall. It was fantastic.
It was gorgeous.
They rate on the literature for the park. They rate this hike as moderate. All Trails rates it as easy. I think if you're a hiker and you're going for a hiking experience,
It's probably easy.
pretty easy.
If you're a regular weekend hiker.
right? If you are just a regular average person going to a state park that's not normally hiking, it's probably moderate. We saw several people that were getting winded. There at the end, we got a little winded just because we kind of hadn't done much of this.
We hadn't, this spring.
This spring. So,
But I will say too that you still need proper, even for the Chimney Rock part, even if you're just going to do the elevator and the little thing up the stairs, please wear like
good
shoes.
Yes.
Sneakers, hiking shoes, something like that. It's slick. I mean, it's the rocks. People have been walking on the rocks for 150 years, so it's not got a lot of footholds. It's a little bit soft, like flat and slick. I would say not slick, but smooth is the word I'm looking for. And we saw a lot of Crocs, saw a lot of like dressy sandals, and then people all got hyped up and wanted to go on the waterfall thing, and they weren't wearing good shoes for that. And
then right at the base of the hill with the road that comes in, it's what they call the Chimney Rock Village. There's a lot of little shops and stores and
all kinds of.
touristy stuff.
Yeah.
Once again, we're not big into the touristy type of stuff.
But there was, if you wanted to go,
there was
putt-putt. There was a putt-putt. There was a gym mining, where you get the bag of sand and there's gyms in there. And there's even a like Chimney Rock, like city park on the water. So there's the water that runs there, right there. You could park and go.
Then you can venture into Lake Lure. The lake is called Lake Lure. There's also the town of Lake Lure. One of the neat things, we didn't have time to explore it, but they've taken an old bridge that crosses over the Broad River. That they've replaced it with a modern bridge, but they left the old one and they made a botanical garden out of it.
From the road, I mean, we slowed down and looked. It was having its senior anniversary
it looked really
this
neat.
month, and it was beautiful. And they had like Peter Rabbit's garden, and they had a secret garden entrance, and it had some really neat aspects to it. That would be a fun place to spend a pretty afternoon. It was kind of late in the day. I think they were not far from closing. Lake Lure, if you wanted to hit a beach lake thing, they did have. It looked like it was pay to play because you had to entrance through a certain area.
There was like a little beach area in the water. There was a water park included.
There was a little water splash pad. There was
and
some
a couple little
slides. But there was a full beach area. There were people sunbathing out on the beach and playing in the water. So it was really cool and really pretty.
It's
and of
pretty.
course, it's right in the. I mean, you know, the mountains come down.
Yes.
Into this.
That's what I was saying. It's
into the lake.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful area. So if you're close by, I highly recommend making
and
a trip.
venturing into that. Yeah.
Get over and check out Chimney
If you're
Rock
within
and
like
Lake
an
Lure.
hour, I think Chimney Rock's worth it.